Hanna.
And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
Where we talk about all your childhood trauma.
In the wise words of Bodies, today's episode is a podcast about hanging out with your smartest and funniest friend. Return guest, Matthew Dalton. Cue applause.
Hello, everyone. Hello, I'm back again. I'm back. Every time I think I get out, they keep pulling me back in.
You're happy to be here. Shut up.
You'll remember him from Malignant and from our season 1 wrap-up where he...
and Rocky Horror.
And Rocky Horror. But I was going to say where he pitched Malignant 2000.
I did pitch Malignant 2000. I am still awaiting a call, but that's okay.
Our most frequent return guest.
So far.
And I'll probably stay that way.
What's up?
So today, tell them what we're doing, Hannah.
We
did.
Yeah, well, we watched 4 episodes from
Tell them what we did.
We watched 4 episodes from childhood TV shows, and we will be discussing 3 of them.
Yes, yeah. They were all ones that we brought to the table that gave us some kind of fear at some point in our lives. So
plus an episode of Drake and Josh that I thought I remembered being scary, and we learned wasn't.
Yep.
So shout out to Drake and Josh season 3 episode Alien Invasion for not being scary.
All right.
Well, we'll kick it off with the episode I actually legitimately pitched for this, which was the Spongebob episode. You could probably guess what it is. It is Graveyard Shift, season 2, episode 36A.
Yeah. No, it's a classic. I mean, Hannah, you want to give us a little plot description?
Okay.
From memory.
In a powerful indictment of capitalism, the everyman has to deal with this extremely annoying, high-pitched coworker.
It's the freaking hash-slinging slasher episode.
That
goddamn episode.
When his piece of shit boss decides to make him work extra, hilarity ensues when he decides to play a joke on an annoying coworker.
Okay.
You know what? You love it. It's the hash-slinging slasher episode.
Yes, I would assume everyone's seen this one.
Slash-slinging.
The trash-bringing, yeah.
Trash-bringing.
Yeah. And, I'll just say right away, SpongeBob is as good as I remember it. It's maybe better, especially early seasons.
Yeah, it is so funny. It is so funny. I will say, is not so scary, but it is so funny.
No, it wasn't scary.
No, it's not scary.
Made sense as to why I had watched it as a child and felt okay with it.
I will say, though, and if everyone remembers the ending with Nosferatu from the movie... Oh, wait, the movie's not called Nosferatu. What's it called? I don't know. Original vampire, basically, is in it. I don't know how they get the rights to show him on camera, from the movie.
It's called Nosferatu.
Oh, it is called Nosferatu? That had some other name.
1922 film, Nosferatu, my man.
Well, I remember that being burned in my brain and actually scaring me a lot. When I watched the episode, but when I got into bed that night as a kid, he was there.
Oh, yeah, you remember Nosferatu.
I think it has a longer name than that, but it's definitely called Nosferatu. Yeah. Nosferatu, a symphony of horror.
I knew it was a symphony of something. There we go. Okay.
But it is Nosferatu. Yeah, that part, when I was younger, I didn't know what Nosferatu was or who that was, so I was just confused as fuck. I was like, who's this dude that they think is funny that is just a guy?
Yeah, also is just a terrifying looking guy.
Yeah, what is happening?
That was the genius of SpongeBob, though. There was just so much ridiculous stuff. They were doing Family Guy cutaways before Family Guy existed. With just weird, especially when it would cut to people, normal people. Just do a dude playing drums to do the rim shot.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Using those sort of cutaway moments is such a smart and funny and interesting way to bring more into it. And throwing Nosferatu into the end of that episode is so bananas off the walls.
Yes.
That it's perfect. And yeah.
It really does work.
I found watching this as an adult that I relate to Squidward more than I would ever have hoped to. I know as a child you're like, fuck that guy, and then as an adult I'm like, yeah, when your job demands more of you than you're being paid for, I'd be pissy too. I
Squidward
would
is almost-
also be reading a book on the job. I have read a book on the job many a time.
I will say Squidward is almost entirely in the right if you go back and watch that show.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, dude's just trying to like mind his own business. And he just gets fucked with constantly.
He really needs an HOA, I think, to not deal with those two.
Yeah, he does. If the HOA, if one existed,
They would-
so much of this nonsense wouldn't be occurring.
SpongeBob should be evicted, to be honest. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this episode because I want to say what I liked is
Yeah.
it's hard to complain about SpongeBob because when I go back to these early seasons, one, it looks so good, and I like forgot how good this like old hand drawn style looked. Mm-hmm. And I did say I was like, damn, they really got some great voice actors in the booth together
They're
for
so
this show,
good.
and it's like I know that the show's still running and they're still there, but like these early seasons is really impressive.
Yeah, it is truly wild, the talent. I don't think I had really put it together until recently, but I'm pretty sure the guy who played Mr. Krabs was in Shawshank Redemption.
Who did he play?
Fuck?
Do you know?
I think he's one of like the main guards in the prison.
I think
he's the dude who tries to throw
him off the roof.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh my god!
Which is
How did you
just-
figure this out?
So I had seen.
Oh my god, you're totally right.
Yeah, so I had seen like a video of them like doing an episode live for like an audience once, and I was looking around at them, and then I saw a clip like years later. I saw a clip from Shawshank Redemption, which was that scene where he's trying to throw him off, and I was like, oh wait, and he talks, and you can sort of hear it in his voice.
I'm trying to find it. It looks like him,
and I'm
but now
like,
I can't
oh my
find
god,
it.
is
No,
that the
he
dude?
is.
Oh, that's
Captain
him.
Byron
Yep.
Hadley in
Yep.
My man.
Shawshank
Holy shit!
Redemption.
He's
Yeah.
also in Starship Troopers. I just saw.
Pet Cemetery.
That's funny. Clancy
too.
Brown.
Yeah.
I feel like this is such a perfect way to do a scary, quote unquote, a horror episode for kids, just because it does play on real life things that are like mildly scary, at least. Like, I still don't love the dark, so being the SpongeBob having to take the trash out, I get it, bro. And then, like, fucking around with your coworker and then being like, oh no.
This is just telling scary stories.
Yeah.
But
then, like, having it bite you in the ass feels right for me.
Being around the campfire, telling a scary story, and then you end up just scaring yourself with it.
Yeah.
That's classic.
Relatable
Once you're away
content.
from the goofiness. Yeah, it is. I think you're right. Just like kind of a perfect little horror for kids. And I don't know that SpongeBob has a lot of scary episodes except this one.
Yeah.
Scary. It's a very much definitely had to be a Halloween episode.
I can't think of
It has
anything
great
else
Halloween
similar.
vibes. It has some good, especially when they finally introduced the hash-slinging slasher, like good atmosphere. It seemed like they were having fun with it. The way it was drawn up and everything. It looks good.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it, and I remember even as a kid, like especially that shot of him getting off the bus and the bus pulling away, and it's just those red
shadow.
eyes and the silhouette. I was like a little spooked as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm being like, I'm holding on to my blankie a little extra tight.
Holding on to my blankie.
There were so many like cartoon horrors that just like obliterated me, and I wouldn't say this was one of them.
No.
But if this episode does well, we'll be doing more of them. So I'm sure, it's funny. We start talking about Nosferatu, and I will just say, and I'll leave it at this. I remember there being a very scary vampire Hey Arnold episode that I did not think about. I don't know if either of you saw that one.
No.
But
I didn't watch
there's
one,
implication that one of the characters is an actual vampire at the end of the episode. And that's what kept me up at night.
Spooky.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
What do you think the scariest part of this episode is?
The walls
Was it?
lose green slime.
That would be fucking
Wait,
scary.
they always do that?
If my wall started oozing green slime.
I
I think it
very
would happen
quotable
in this
episode, too.
apartment, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised if
You
it
can't.
started.
Yeah, we couldn't rule it out.
Yeah, we really can't. My scariest part is definitely when your job demands too much of you.
Yeah, right at the beginning,
Right
when
at the
Mr.
beginning.
Krabs says we're open 24 hours.
I was like, oh my god, the horror.
Yeah, the Krusty Krab really only has 2 employees, I've noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, well, somebody maybe needs to get some labor law
We need some
lawyers
unions.
in there,
Get some unions in here.
Yeah, I can see the rat outside of the Krusty Krab.
Yeah.
The big rat.
SpongeBob definitely would, like, neglect any of the labor laws anyway.
He's a scab for sure.
SpongeBob is such
big
a
time.
scab.
Big
Yeah,
time.
Squidward's always in the right. Wait, no, he did. There is a episode where they go on strike. Holy shit. I just remember that.
Oh, yeah,
Krusty
yeah.
Krab, unfair.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs is in there.
Yeah. Yep.
This show is
Wow.
too smart for its own good. Little me did not pick up on any of this.
What scared you the most, Matt? Was it Nosferatu?
As a kid, it was definitely Nosferatu.
That's me too.
I think honestly, like as a kid, I could feel it, just like the welling up of that climactic. He gets off the bus, he comes in, he taps on the front door with the spatula hand, and you're like, oh my god, it's actually happening. He's actually a hash-slinging slasher. How scary.
And it's just an ugly dude with a spatula.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right.
Okay, Hannah. Jesus.
They make him look and sound dorky. It's definitely purposeful. They're like, this nerdy guy is
Well,
trying to get a
SpongeBob
job.
has an answer for you because in the Bubble Bowl episode, the Band Geeks, they go and see real people and go, these are some ugly fish. And the one guy's like, I think I'm going to be sick. So that's you.
Yeah,
They're
it
looking
is
at-
me.
They got an answer for everything.
Hate
It's
fish.
true. I do. I hate them.
All right. Anything else you want to say about SpongeBob, or you want to go to the next nightmare-inducing childhood episode?
Yeah, I'm good. Honestly, I just pitched this because I wanted to rewatch it.
It's a great
'cause
episode.
SpongeBob
Yeah.
is the shit.
All right.
Laughed out loud.
I'll introduce the next one because this one was the actual one that gave me nightmares and kept me up at night. And talking to Matt, it did as well, which was Courage the Cowardly Dog, The Curse of King Ramses. Is
Nope,
that-
King Ramses'
Curse.
Curse.
King Ramses' Curse.
Season 1, episode 5A.
And my God, first of all, Courage was great. Absolutely loved it. I don't know
You're
how
not
they
supposed
got
to be telling
away.
your feelings. You're supposed
No.
to be...
Oh, sorry, I have
You're
to tell you what
supposed to be
happens. All right, summarizing this episode.
God
yeah,
damn
Amateur hour.
it.
amateur. All right. So basically, these dudes steal a slab, and then Courage finds the slab, and it's from a museum, and it's King Ramses' slab. And then King Ramses shows up and is like, "Return the slab, or suffer my curse." And it's really scary.
good.
And then Courage, does his Courage thing and protects Eustace and Muriel. And there's a bunch of plagues, and then they get rid of it, and then Eustace keeps it, and he ends up locked up in a tomb.
My briefer synopsis was sad puppy has abusive owner that continues over and over again to put his dog and wife at risk.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole show. You haven't watched
Okay,
it, so
That is true,
yeah,
actually.
I have to say, I had never watched Courage the Cowardly Dog until like a month and a half ago. And I've watched 2.5 episodes. Yeah, very impressive. What the fuck is with this man? Like,
Eustace?
I don't understand how I'm supposed to, like, be happy that Courage was adopted when his parent is abusive.
No, oh my God, he is, but Muriel's awesome.
Yeah, but, like, why they, like, pitch it like it's this happy thing, like this dog got adopted, which is happy.
Oh, it is not a happy
If they have
show.
nice parents.
I can't believe he does. Muriel's nice.
Yeah, but Eustace is
Oh, yeah.
awful.
Yeah, he is.
And
That's
I
the
just,
point.
like-
terrible.
But he always gets what's coming to him.
I know, I just feel like the
believe
opening
it.
sequence, like, pitches it as, like,
No,
so happy, puppy get adopted.
No, Courage has everything he has to. He does everything for Muriel. All right? That's his mom. I can't believe
I don't
that took the
know.
place.
She doesn't
You need to
seem
watch
that
more of the show.
enthused either.
Anyway, I want to say this show was responsible for countless nightmares for me.
Oh, shit.
This show, I am shocked that it was on air, to be honest, because it was serious in a lot of ways, covered some serious topics, and was also very scary for a child. But this episode specifically was what I found to be the scariest as a kid. And I think it's all because King Ramses is horrific. And Matt, I know you can back me up on this. He's a CGI, right?
It is a different animation
Yeah.
than the rest of the show, and I as a child, I wasn't prepared
Yeah, it's
for
awesome.
something to look different when everything else looks the same, and it became so impactful, and it hit me so strongly. Many a nightmare.
And he's on screen a lot.
Oh,
and it's
so
the same
bad. and
shot.
His movements are so weird
And his
and
voice.
fluid, and ugh.
And I do remember like that. I hid every single time, like because you'd watch the episode, or I would change the channel.
Yeah, I'd
So it
put
came
my
on.
hands in front of my eyes.
Yeah, every time he showed up, and that was like I would lay in bed and I would see him when I closed my eyes
Oh my
in
God.
his creepy CGI form on the hand drawn background. And no, it was fucked up. This show was really scary as a kid.
Yeah.
I will give it to you that I'm just like imagining young me when my parents got divorced and I would go to my
Horrific.
dad's. Yeah, trauma right there. When I would go to my dad's, on Thursday nights, because for some reason I was part of the arrangement. I slept at my dad's on Thursdays, and I had a TV in my room, which I didn't have at my mom's. And so I would, like, put on something innocent, and in my sleep, like, either lay on the remote, or maybe I watch, like, Scooby-Doo or something, and then I'd wake up to shit like this.
Courage, yep.
And I'd be like, what the fuck? And I can just, like, imagine whatever year-old me, like 10-year-old me, waking up to this shit.
No, that's how it went.
Nightmare fuel.
What's crazy, though, is this wasn't like a late-night program. This was a kids' program.
No, I know.
That played. It's even scarier.
I was just kind of scared of everything on Cartoon Network, though.
It's the best. Cartoon Network's the
really
superior.
It really fucked me up.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Cartoon Network in general sort of had like that weirder animation style overall. Like,
it wasn't for
they
me.
swung so wide. But I think specifically with Courage the Cowardly Dog, like this was fully focused on being a children's horror show.
It was, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they were setting out to do. It was weird as, like, it was absolutely weird as fuck. I believe there's a Swami that plays the saxophone, and she's a reoccurring character in a lot. But it's super weird, and it's my understanding from talking to people is that everybody sort of has that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog that they found really disturbing. And like Matt, this was mine.
This was mine too.
This was absolutely mine. I could not handle it, but I've heard a few other interesting like answers to that question, and a lot of like just hearing about the things that really scare people and how it all comes from this like weird show that was just for kids.
I'm so happy it was made though. Like watching episodes, I was like, this is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Like, it looks great. It's like this ugly style that I like, if that makes sense. Like it's supposed to be kind of ugly.
Yeah. Like nobody's really supposed to look super anatomical or correct at all, but it all gets the point across enough. I remember I was talking with my mother, shout out mom. I was talking with her when you guys were telling me about this episode to see if she had any, knowledge of things that scared me as a child that I may have forgotten or blocked out.
Blocked out.
Yeah.
I didn't block any of it out.
Yeah, and we got talking about Courage the Cowardly Dog, and she was like, yeah, I just feel like maybe you guys were too young to be watching that. And I was like... I thought to I think this is like the perfect age range for this show. I think it's a little discrediting to, be like, oh, kids are sometimes too young for these kind of like subject matters. They're way more like intelligent or a little bit more in tune, like maybe not on an emotional level, but they're understanding some of the things that are happening. And so kind of introducing them to this way that's a little bit lighter, a little less like visceral, but still like a little disturbing, I think was a good way to do it. And I think I still enjoy the show and I have fond memories watching it.
I'm behind you on that as well. I don't know the psychology behind it, but I agree that like I'm happy I watched it, so I have to imagine. I don't know. It was good. Also, Courage is a great character. Yeah, I really enjoy that he is this scared dog. I'm getting philosophical about Courage, but like he is scared. He is a cowardly dog, but at the end of the day, every episode he saves the day and he pushes past the fear, and I think that's awesome.
It is truly the juxtaposition of acknowledging your fears and then standing up to them, and that is courage in the face of cowardice. Yeah. It is truly the dichotomy.
Hannah, you need to watch more of this show. I'm sorry. We talk about it. I'll also say there was a lot of serious subject matter in the show, and I distinctly remember an episode where Courage helps a bunny get out of the abusive relationship with a dog to run away with her friend, in quotes, the rabbit, and it was very much implied that they were going off to be together, and I thought that was awesome. I was like...
Yeah, it's super cool. Like, and I think as a kid, like, you don't think about it as like, what are the implications of this? It's sort of just like, this guy is doing a bad thing, and I'm glad to see that this person, or this bunny, who is personified, is no longer going through this, and I'm glad that Courage was there to help stand up to him.
They also had some interesting mental health episodes. There was a thief with schizophrenia in it, and Courage basically like helped him like get away from the police. Oh. Yeah, he climbed up Abe Lincoln's nose in the whatever that memorial is.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that too. Holy shit! Yeah, okay. Oh my god.
Hannah's so uninterested.
What a fever dream. What a fever dream, that show.
This is, if we just name every episode, this will be our most viewed. We just go through and like remind everybody. They're going to go, oh my god, somebody just crashed their car when they thought of an episode.
They're so excited.
He climbs up Abe Lincoln's nose. They get a big finger to try to pick him out of Abe Lincoln's nose.
Yeah.
What's that monument called? The one where they like destroyed that native
beautiful
land.
mountain.
Yeah, that it was like very clearly
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
For a second, my brain went, the Washington Monument?
That's
I know, I couldn't think of it either.
exactly what I went.
I couldn't think of it
It's like
either.
I was
That's
like, the
absolutely
monument with
not
Abe
it.
Lincoln? That's the Washington Monument, for sure.
Which also is not a sculpture of a guy. with
Not a
nose.
dude at all.
Nope.
No.
So we had that.
Courage made me
really
think
good.
that you could climb Abe Lincoln's nose at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
I believe
I'm
it.
still a little skeptical.
Yeah, you might be able to.
But we should.
I've seen National Treasure 2. All right. Book
Yeah.
of Secrets.
Oh, shit. Is that out? Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, don't they like climb into Mount Rushmore?
I think they
climb some
dip
rocks.
over to Mount Rushmore, they take some pictures, and then they go
No, I thought
to
that
like
was-
a lake behind it or something like that.
Yeah, they go like into the rocks. Though they're in the caves,
Yeah.
and then they leave Ed Harris behind to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Ed
Rip
Harris.
to the goat.
He was the villain of that, so.
Well, villain's
Lesson is
subjective.
to-
There's some gray area.
That's true. If you ask the U.S. government, Nick Cage is the villain
Mhm.
of those movies.
Well, the U.S. government is the villain of most other stories,
That's true.
so.
I would commit heinous acts to get a third one of those movies.
Yeah.
To be honest with
I
you.
would do a lot of bad things
Yeah,
to get that
for real.
movie
I'll even
made.
have John Voight in them again. I don't care. Like,
I don't know, Nick Cage has been struggling. I'm pretty sure he had some like dinosaur fossils that he had to like give back or something. I don't know.
What?
Yeah,
what, struggling.
was
The man is
also-
still
no, he was in like
the
a lot
hardest
of
working
debt.
actor in Hollywood.
How do you struggle and have dinosaur fossils?
I think that was part of it because he was wasting money on things like dinosaur fossils.
He's still working. He just did another movie.
He's decided he wants to step away from movies and do TV.
What do you do with dinosaur fossils if you're not a museum?
I feel like, am I making this up?
You're worse
I
than me.
have
It's a great
I
episode.
have to look this up now. I'm like freaking out. Pause.
While you're saying that, let's talk about other Nick Cage facts. Did you know he's a Coppola?
I did
Yeah.
know that,
Does
yeah.
everyone know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
He's a Nepo baby. Yeah.
Did you know that for the movie, the Ghost Rider movie, they had to like cover up his Ghost Rider tattoo to film?
No way.
Yeah, he has like
yeah.
a huge
I didn't know that.
Ghost Rider tattoo, and they were like, we have to
You
cover it
didn't know
up
that?
because
No, I had no
obviously he would not have a tattoo. So.
Okay, yeah, I was correct. In 2015, he returned a T-Rex skull that he
The slab?
purchased in 2007.
Probably because King Ramses was after him.
No, the skull was
slab.
acquired from a gallery that had smuggled fossils. So, like,
Secondhand stolen fossils?
yeah, he
What a
pretty much
Nick
had
Cage thing to
second-hand
do.
stolen
Okay.
fossils.
All right.
Absolutely Nick Cage
Hell
thing
yeah.
to do.
The case was called United States versus one Tyrannosaurus skeleton.
What? Tyrannosaurus skeleton? What season of RuPaul's Drag Race is she on?
Whoa, oh my god.
That's a great name.
Juan Tyrannosaurus skeleton.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, when he acquired that via the bidding in 2007, he had outbid Leonardo DiCaprio. It was just those two guys beefing over a T-Rex skull.
Is
I
it?
feel like am I asleep? I feel like I'm having a fever
Are they
dream right now.
legal to own? Like, it feels like it should be illegal.
It was $150 million.
Well, technically it's not a real
Oh,
skull.
maybe
it's
that
actually
was
a fossil.
between. Oh no, this article says Nicolas Cage blew $150 million on a dinosaur skull, pygmy heads, and 2 European castles. So I guess the
That's
added
sort of a deal.
value.
Whatever keeps him working.
Okay, it was no. This other article was saying he bought the skull for $276,000.
Alright.
So
Yeah.
still
Alright,
a
this is
lot.
becoming too much.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say that we didn't really touch on thematic things in that first episode, and I wasn't planning on doing for courage, but we kind of did hit it, talking about in the face of fear having that courage,
Yeah.
right? And
That is
like
sort
the
of
point.
the,
I mean,
the overarching of the show.
I very much talked about what
The
I
theme of
got.
SpongeBob
What I got from that episode.
about how
Capitalism.
we should kill Mr. Krabs.
That is true,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, I talked exclusively
Oh,
about
okay, good point.
capitalism.
You're right.
What I would add is that I didn't say is that we are recording this episode at night.
That's true.
Night.
SpongeBob is a class traitor.
He really is.
Kind of is, yeah.
Also, he forgot the secret sauce is one of the quotes SpongeBob says. Like he's trying to figure out why the hash slinging slasher is dead or something. He's like, he forgot the secret sauce? What do you think the secret sauce is for a Krabby Patty?
Tartar sauce.
Probably like, if it's a secret.
Wait, yeah. What do you mean? We don't know the secret formula.
Well, hold on.
I'm guessing what you think the secret sauce is. It was in the episode, so it's a very relevant question. Much more relevant than in the caged dinosaur skull.
Hold on.
I'm so lost.
What is the secret
What do you think the secret sauce is on a Krabby Patty?
I don't know. What is it?
Why are you lost then?
I answered. I said tartar sauce.
Why'd you say you were lost?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it's fine.
I think it's like a spicier sauce than tartar sauce.
What if it's like less of a sauce and more of like a way they make the patties? Like they make them with like whale oil or something weird like
something
that.
Nefarious.
There is an
Mr.
episode.
Krabs definitely uses.
There's an
fish
episode.
sauce.
No. There's an episode where Plankton and his whole family find the secret formula, and it's plankton. But it was fake.
It's a joke.
It was fake, but it scares all of them. Yeah.
Oh, we should have covered that episode.
Yeah, that's even scarier.
People theorize
right.
that the Krabby Patty is just crab
Duh.
cakes.
Just crab cakes?
Yeah.
That's why there's no other crabs in
And
the
then
show.
tartar sauce.
Holy shit.
Mr. Krabs is not only a class traitor, but he's also a cannibal.
A known cannibal.
All right.
Okay, courage.
We got to do the next step.
No, I liked the plagues.
Oh, Hannah, you want to you liked something about courage?
I did.
Oh.
The second watch through.
You liked the plagues.
I liked the plagues.
The music.
But I thought it was
We
so
found something for you.
fucking funny that one of the plagues was just loud music about King Ramses.
Because they're old people.
That King Ramses song, it will always be in my head somehow. You know? King Ramsey.
I was like, what plague of these 3 plagues would actually scare me the most? And I do think, honestly, the answer could be music if it's my mom's radio stations.
Oof.
Played at full volume.
Philadelphia 92.5. If you're in the area, you know what I'm talking about.
I do want to say one other thing about Courage before we
you're fine.
move on.
Sorry.
And it's sort of like something that you touched upon with SpongeBob is just how pretty the show is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on top of everything, there were so many like really cool and like really beautiful shots that I mentioned at one point as the locusts, which is the final plague, are like circling around and creating this like halo of locusts around the house. There's like this weird shot up of the house as you see these locusts circling around it, and it's just like a beautiful still, like a really beautiful still.
They busted their ass back in the day in these hand-drawn shows. It's actually crazy how much better it can look. And I miss it. And we blame Disney for destroying their 2D animated studio on purpose. And
I think we've said that
I know I've said
on
it before.
another episode.
I have.
Yeah, and we're coming back,
Well,
Disney.
we're coming back.
Right? You think we forgot? We didn't.
They did it on purpose. I mean, we also, Ed and Eddie was the last running 2D hand-drawn, I believe, because I've read that before, to run on Cartoon Network. So, also great. Also very ugly on purpose show.
Ugly on purpose, yeah.
I like it. Shows the real flaws in people.
Yeah.
They didn't want to make them perfect. People are ugly. We're all weird looking.
Just another show I didn't watch.
Yeah, you fucked up. I wish you were less stubborn, because then we could actually make you watch all of these.
No thanks.
But you'll just hate it on
Okay.
purpose.
Yeah, I
Hey,
will.
you complimented, though. Courage is great.
I do love to hate things on purpose.
I want to cover more Courage episodes. So.
Speaking of things I did not hate on purpose, Goosebumps, The Haunted Mask, Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2. It's a 2-parter, baby.
And Matt was the one that suggested this one.
Yeah, so
Other
give
Matt.
us the plot description.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Out the gate, starts out, we meet R.L. Stine. He introduces himself. I wrote the Goosebumps books. I hope you're in for a scare. Or something like that. He says something like that.
So thorough.
Yeah, we open up on a most likely Pennsylvania town where, what was her name? She had a double name.
Carly Beth.
Carly Beth, thank you.
I like how you're trying to quote R.L. Stine directly and can't remember the main character's name.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember every part of R.L. Stine on screen. I've just blacked out for the rest of it. No, we follow Carly Beth, who is a known scaredy cat, as she goes through the trials and turbulence of what I assume is like early high school or like late middle school age. She's getting bullied. She's getting scared by pretty much everything. Like if you just put a pumpkin in front of this girl, she's gonna freak out.
She literally did.
She's got some issues, and I worry about her family life ultimately. Anyway, it's the day before Halloween, and she concocts this plan to get back at the two boys who are the biggest bullies for her. So she goes to this random shop, which says it's a novelty shop, but it looks like all they sell are masks.
It's just Spirit Halloween.
It's just a Spirit Halloween run by a creepy guy.
With a rash.
Yeah. With a rash.
That was the scariest part.
The true horror.
Yeah. Direct quote in my notes, the real horror would be getting a rash.
Yeah, it's tough, but we don't disrespect people who have things going on medically. It's fine.
I get rashes.
He's living
It's
his
okay.
truth. And he's a business owner. He's a small business owner. Anyway, she goes into it pleading to find a mask right before Halloween. He says, you can check out what I have in stock, but this is all I have on the floor. And she finds a back room with more masks. There's a bit of a scuffle. She grabs one of the masks, throws $30 at this guy, and then dips with her thing. She dons the mask. She starts acting crazy. She goes trick-or-treating with her friend who's dressed as Cat. Duh. And she starts acting like super crazy and very gremlinish and starts shaking her friend. And that's where part 1 turns into part 2 for some reason. Anyway, she gets separated from the friend. She's going nuts. This girl's like fiending for fear. And she finds the boys dressed as pirates in the graveyard. Scares the absolute like bejesus out of them. But not at first. Only after acting like really crazy.
It's when she asks them to apologize to her that they get scared.
She's
They're scared of a strong woman.
She was going off the rails a little bit, though. I mean, we're scared of a deranged woman, maybe. Yeah, she buries a mask of her own face that her mom made for her in a sort of weird way. Goes back to her friend's house, discovers the mask is fused to her body. It's become part of her. She goes back to the novelty shop, that strange man, small business owner. And he's like, yeah, it's a part of you now. Nothing I can do. I'm wearing a mask right now. All the masks, by the way, there's like 4 of the masks. All of them are awake now, and they're floating towards you. And you need to find a symbol of love in order to get this mask off. And so she, hauls ass to the graveyard, unearths the mommy mask, the mask of her that her mommy made, and is like just shows it to these floating masks, and he goes, "This is me, and it kind of looks like He-Man.
That really looks like He-Man
a lot.
And then they all go away, and she could take the mask off, and she lived, I assume, happily ever after, until her little brother dons the mask. Credits roll. R.L. Stein. Hi, my name is R.L. Stein. I wrote the Goosebumps book, and you just watched The Haunted Masks. And that's it.
And then he shows his parents.
He does show his parents. It's a sweet bit. It's one of the funniest parts of my entire life.
I don't think you could have made that longer if you...
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, we're not doing 15-second summaries today, baby.
It's definitely a bit, but like...
So goes along. Hey, we forgot. Those are also his old faces, the shopkeeper's old faces that were corrupted by his internal hatred or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the rash was also just corruption.
Yeah, so it's like the most interesting part of this whole story for me was this shopkeep, and he just touches upon a little piece of lore for himself, which I was so intrigued by.
I liked his lore.
I wanted to see his real, the face onto the mask, bro.
Too scary. This was also an actual kid show that was horror, right? Based off of...
no, this is true. I mean, this is the Goosebumps books, which are children's horror novels.
Which I read a shit ton of.
Oh, absolutely.
Hannah, you didn't, right?
No, dog, I did not like horror things until college.
That's literally all I would read in the library as a kid. I was like, I don't want to read any of this other stuff. Because you don't know how to read. Yeah, basically.
Well, I also read them, and I also don't know how to read, so...
I definitely read this one, but I had actually never seen it. I thought maybe I had, but no, I'd never seen it. So.
Damn, yo. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching this as a little kid, and I was very disturbed by that mask. And I was specifically disturbed when the masks started floating and chasing her, and I was like, this isn't it. I'm freaked out, guys. It was crazy.
In my notes, I wrote down, the real horror is 4 times. What do you think the real horror was in this episode, Matt?
I don't know.
Tell me. The real horror would be getting a rash. The real horror.
Poor guy, he's probably going to see a doctor about it.
I have sensitive skin. I get hives on one side of my
Wow.
face sometimes.
So you're a traitor, is what
I've
you're saying.
had allergic reactions, again, on the one cheek. It's very weird. So I get it, and it is horrifying. I used to get bullied for having a rash on my face when I was 10. So the real horror would be getting a rash. I also wrote the real horror is the bullying.
They're really merciless with this girl.
What do you mean? I mean, it's not that hard though. When she's scared, if they'd be like, "Can I borrow a pencil?" and she'd be like, "Ah."
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was a little over the top, but then they put a worm in her sandwich.
That
and
was pretty
That was
messed
fucked.
up. I don't like that.
Okay, 2 things. I also wrote the real horror is the duck in the mall because her mom makes her a duck costume, which was inspired by her seeing a duck in the mall that she said she wanted to dress as for Halloween. Why is there a duck in the mall? And I'm imagining not like in a pet store. I'm imagining a lone, independent duck wandering.
Like a real duck and not a person in a duck costume.
Yeah. Yeah. That was how I interpreted it because I just imagined we were in Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania.
Malls back then had a lot more
Ducks.
fountains and things.
Yeah, true.
Or ducks.
Way more. I mean, it's just, you know.
Okay, my other thing was I was going to say, don't make fun of her for being scared of everything, including pencils. She might have a family history of trauma. People with anxiety and PTSD are super jumpy.
Okay.
In my last job, one of my bosses, he wasn't like my direct supervisor, but one of the supervisors would always like come up to me and like make a loud noise to try and scare me because he knew I was reactive. And I turned around and I was like, I jump because like I have trauma, right?
Sure, you got him.
He did not care. I thought that was really fucked up given we worked at a mental health agency.
That's
But,
what it's like.
it'd be like that.
Hey, you know.
Well,
Ye-
I was going to say, I was very impressed by this show, actually, and I've heard good things before. I mean, acting's not great, but like for these like little kids playing this part, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the story, and I do remember reading it, so I liked it then. But overall, the show like looked good. I think it would have scared me a lot as a kid.
I agree.
Like I enjoyed where it went. Like I loved R.L. Stine at the beginning, being like, "Hey, I wrote these books." Everything about it really like. I mean, maybe there was a lot of nostalgia for it because it came out like 1998, so there's a very distinct feeling and like look that has. But I really enjoyed it. I'd watch more Goosebumps.
Okay, and we have to say, we actually had a scream in this one.
2.
Mine was a joke.
Oh, okay. What do we scream at?
You screamed
Oh, it was me.
at the Carly mask, like blinking.
The Carly mask
moving or
smiles.
smiling.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks at her. Yeah, it comes
That
to
shit
life.
was icky. The He-Man
so
mask
weird.
smiling.
So
Well,
weird.
the part when the He-Man mask was going, "Help me!" That
Yeah,
was
that
really
was
scary
scary.
too.
Yeah.
This is like a scary show. I really liked it. And if the entire purpose is to scare kids, like this would work.
Did
Yeah.
we turn the lights off for this? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Oh.
had the lights off.
I was about, well, we still had like the kitchen light on. I think if we turned them all off, I might have been scared now.
Yeah. There's some. I'm sure there's scarier episodes.
would.
We should look up what the scariest Goosebumps episode is, and then we can watch that one.
Maybe we'll watch all of them and
It
rank
might have been
them.
like Welcome to Camp Fear or whatever. That one was. That one.
yeah, I
The
don't
book was
remember.
scary. So you never read these, Hannah? This is crazy.
No,
You know,
I
feel like-
read like a couple of the scary stories to tell in the dark, and those were too much for me. But I think
Wait,
those
I thought
are.
that was just a show. Am I dumb?
No,
No,
those are
no, that
books.
was
There's a book
as
and then
well,
a show.
Yeah,
Oh, I was thinking of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
yeah.
With scary stories to tell
Scary
in the
Stories
dark.
was the
I
multiple
don't think-
short stories.
I don't
That was
think-
good.
Yeah, I don't think Scary Stories to
They-
Tell in the Dark had a show.
they
but
made a
had
movie.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I had them mixed up. I was thinking of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I read like one or two of those, and it actually like legitimately scared me.
Oh, they're good.
And so I was like, all right, no more horror books for me.
No, they're like
Until
really
like
good.
as an adult, I was like, I could read something with a ghost.
Now you run a horror podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty wild
You're such a ween
transition.
before.
Yeah, I mean, this is just courage in the face of cowardice, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm so inspiring, truly.
I agree.
The scariest part of
Alright.
this episode is our neighbor walking around in the background.
Upstairs.
You will hear.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I was gonna say, what else do we like or dislike about this? I feel like it was hard for me to complain about any of these because I was like, for what they're going for, they kind of did exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked all the parts of like, I felt like they were really, really careful about the parts where the masks became like moving and involved and how they worked that into like sort of the storytelling and the jumpiness of this whole thing. Because they weren't like that. The mask, even when she was wearing it most of the time, looked mostly like just a mask a lot of times. And it looked just like a Halloween mask. I mean, credits to the props department for making just cool looking masks.
Yeah, they look cool.
They look dope.
Scary.
But like the parts where the mask talks, it happens so infrequently, or like with like eyes would open when nobody's wearing it, or like there's a point where like all the masks turn and look at her and something like that, and like those parts are so like sparingly used that I feel like it had so much more emphasis.
Yeah, it works.
There's a lot of effect. I'll also say I think my favorite shot in this is, or favorite scene is where she's scaring the other two kids and they do a bunch of close-ups of the mask and it's like wet and sweating. And I actually, it's crazy what your brain will unlock, but I remember that in the book. I remember like reading about how like the mask starts to like almost look like gooey, like how the mask is supposed to. And that's what I saw there. And I was like, oh my God, like that is, it looked so cool. And I was like, yeah, put some effort into this. It's crazy.
Yeah. I would love if Tim Burton and Netflix would hop on and do like a Mask, like limited series. I think that would be really sick. R.L. Stein's The Mask, a limited.
With Burton, you don't want Burton for that.
I think he'd be the man for it. I think so.
Fight.
You know, this is an anti-Burton podcast.
Yeah. I'm here in support, in solidarity of
with
Burton.
Tim Burton.
All right.
I'm in the middle.
I wouldn't say that too loud.
I'm in the middle.
I'm not fully anti. He's fine.
You are pretty anti. You talk shit a lot off
he kind of
off
sucks.
the mic. If I'm ratting you out.
I did refer to him as a hack. Yes. That might be a little strong.
Wow.
That might be a little strong. But
yeah, I like him. And I hope they cast me in The Mask. That's right, I'm available.
What part are you playing? Kathy Beth, whatever, Carly Beth?
Yeah, I hope to play either Carly Beth, or if it's a little later in the making, I hope to play the novelty shop owner. And
oh, okay, yeah, I see it.
I see that.
Put the rash on my face.
Yeah, for sure.
Put the rash on my face.
For sure. Thematically.
There were themes in this. Tell us about it. That's crazy. I know. I thought I'm well watching.
Shy girl gain confidence with mask and then learn to like her true self.
Basically, yeah. It was very much a kid's theme, but it was still good of like, you're okay as you are. You don't have to change for other people.
For some reason, when she first put the mask on and was so confident, it made me think of like Hannah Montana putting the wig on. It's like, wow, she's a whole different girl now.
Yeah.
But I think that also goes then to the shopkeeper who is like, you don't want to know what I look like under this because he keeps putting masks on to not show his true self, and they keep rotting through because he won't show his true self. And I was like watching, I was like, damn, I was like, it's crazy how like easy it can be to just like follow through on simple themes, and yet how many fucking movies do we watch like Night Swim that can't do it? Like, you know what I mean? It's like not hard, especially it could be that simple. You had your story, you have this one theme, it drives an idea home, and it's perfect for children. Like, why can't movies for adults consistently do that? It's crazy. Yeah.
Preach.
More than just Night Swim, sorry. We just watched that and did an episode on it, so I'm talking shit. But, like...
Fun episode, though.
Fun episode. I still have mostly had a fun time watching the movie, too, but...
Yeah, honestly, I've rewatched just because I had probably so much joy to laugh at it.
But are there any other... I don't see any other themes beyond that one. This seems like it's very much trying to tell you exactly how it feels.
She tried to bury herself, literally and figuratively, and then really just understood who she was and felt okay with who she was.
I feel stupid for missing that she buried her bust that her mom made of her to bury herself. That's big brain shit. R.L. Stein, man. R.L. Stein, literary genius.
Literary genius, R.L. Stein.
That man had like 200 books, I swear.
Should I recommend a Goosebumps book for one of my book clubs? Just see how it goes.
Or have no shelf control. Read Goosebumps. Read the first one, Welcome to the Dead House. That was great. That was the very first one. Number 1. Goosebumps 1.
Yeah, I know nothing.
Welcome to the Dead House is Goosebumps 1. I never realized that there's like
they're in order.
A real, well, no, but there's like a real parallel between that and the, what is it? What's the American Horror Story?
Oh, yeah.
The first one of that is about, so essentially, Welcome to the Dead House.
Similar. I think in Welcome to the Dead House, though, they were all like They were like everyone in the neighborhood was like ghosts or vampires or something weird.
Something like that, yeah.
It was interesting. It was good. It's good shit. We can do book club. We can just read all the Goosebumps books and then do a podcast.
All the Goosebumps.
It'd be like Potterless except Goosebumps. It could be for you since you never read them.
We read 250 Goosebumps books.
Well, we would do one book an episode. I'm sure it wouldn't take long.
Wait, how many books are there?
Oh, look it up.
Let's find it.
A lot.
We got our
How
fact.
You just got to read The
many
Beast and The Beast 2. Those were his
books are
He's got a bunch of the Choose Your Own Adventure ones.
62.
Oh my god, it felt like 200 as a kid. I'm surprised it's only 62.
Guys, we can really make
We could. What if we
a solid pod.
of just Goosebumps? This is podcast number 2. If you want that, comment.
I don't.
You don't want that?
I don't want that.
I want that.
I'll do it.
If you want to force Hannah into it, comment.
Just read every single. Well, we would read one and then do an episode.
Or like
You could read them in like an
and do
hour.
episode. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you could finish it in an hour.
How long are they?
Not me. I can't read.
You don't know how to read. We've
Yeah.
been through that.
I can only read Braille.
There's no pictures.
Only read Braille. What's the average length here?
Like 100 pages or less.
Average
I'm making that. I said there were 200 books. I have
length.
62.
I have no clue.
We could review all the Goosebumps books. This is such a ridiculous episode.
This article is now saying 235
All right.
books.
All right.
Holy
Yeah.
hell.
What's happening?
That's
and
what
the
I said.
average book in the series is 126 pages long.
Hell yeah.
So longer
I was
than
reading
you're
them in
making
like
it
third
seem.
grade.
Yeah, how big?
My mom was
how
reading
big
it
is
to
the
me.
font?
How big is the
That's my
Yeah,
question.
it's got to be chunky. There's got to be double
Oh
spacing.
man, this is
out
what's
the
happening.
wazoo.
All right.
Yeah,
Should we wrap this one up? What else do we need to say about these?
nothing truly.
They're good.
Yeah.
I want to watch more Goosebumps and I'll cover more.
Revisit the things that traumatized you as a child, and maybe you will also find
I
that.
refuse to revisit
Oh.
E.T.
I will say. All right. Of the 3, Hannah, which one do you think would have scared you the most as a kid?
Depends on what time of day.
All right. Elaborate then.
Middle of the night, Courage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Courage does feel like
In
a fever
general,
dream.
Goosebumps.
Oh,
I watched
interesting.
SpongeBob as a child. Didn't scare me.
Yep. All right. I'll say mine. It's Courage all the way. That episode, as much as I did think that Goosebumps one would scare me, like there was actual like genuine fear of King Ramses. As a kid.
If I woke up to the image of that guy.
I just sat there and watched it. I was
2
probably
a.m.
waiting for Scooby-Doo to come on because that's what I wanted to watch, you know. But I do like Courage was looking back, I do think Courage is one of my like top 5 Cartoon Network shows.
Damn, well, how many Cartoon Network shows were there at our...
Oh, I watched a lot.
There was a lot.
Ed, Ed and Eddie. Well, Scooby-Doo was reruns, but whatever. There's like 7 different Scooby-Doo shows.
Yeah, you had Ed and Eddie.
I loved Codename Kid Next Door.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. Foster's Home for Magic Parents was on that.
Oh, that was
I'm feeling ignorant
Yeah.
as shit, dude.
Yeah. I was about to say Fairly Odd Parents, so that was Nick.
That's Nick, bro.
That was
I
a
watched
good one.
that one.
That show slaps. There's a lot of good shows, though. I'll have to go through.
It's been a minute.
I want to watch Wild Thornberrys if we're watching a childhood animated show.
Find a horror episode.
I just want to hear Tim Curry.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Let's
all I
wrap.
got,
Oh, Matt. Yeah, what'd you say was your scariest?
Oh, it's gotta be 3 for 3 Courage
Yeah.
Cowardly Dog. That messed me up. I just got the flash of an image of like a recurring dream I used to have as a kid where he was on my actual front lawn, and I would like freak out because my bed is right next to the window, and I'd have a perfect view of the front lawn. I could like picture him there, and it would like freak me out so much.
I hope we unlocked a memory for a lot of people, and they're all going back to watch Courage. Because I know I've talked to other people that have also said that episode traumatized them. So that's great. All right. Let's wrap it up, Matt. Thanks for joining us again. Got anything going on? You got a plug?
No.
Come by furniture at West Elm.
Yeah. Come by furniture. I'm chilling. Yeah.
Nice.
Living the absolute life, doing my thing. I'm on a spiritual journey. Yeah, come get some.
Come get some. What?
All right. Let's wrap it up. I've said that a couple times. Are you ready? Do your thing, Hannah. Sign us off.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Matt Hannah.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannas. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you can find podcasts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannas on TikTok, and Instagram for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!